And a very good afternoon to you. And now, what the Dickens, a Dickensian tale. I discovered the following anecdote whilst reading Charles Dickens's novel, Nicholas Nickleby, and I liked it. Nicholas Nickleby, whilst on his way from London to Yorkshire, was involved in an accident. The coach on which he was travelling overturned, and Nicholas Nickleby was thrown into a snowdrift. He and everyone else survived to tell the tale, and whilst waiting for the coach to be repaired, told each other stories. And this was one of them. Once upon a time there was a German baron, Baron Koeldwethout, and he was a very happy man. The baron spent most of his time hunting, getting drunk, and generally having lots of good fun. But one day the baron started getting fed up with his life. It was all very easy. And so, to cut a long story short, the baron got married. But marriage wasn't for him, and after 12 years the baron had had enough. With a permanently miserable wife and 12 rowdy children, the baron discovered he was sorely missing his former life of revelry and drunkenness. Things were bad, and to add to it all, his money was spent. The baron was depressed. The only way out, he believed, was suicide. And so there he was with a final pipe, a final bottle of wine, and his knife. But he wasn't alone, for there in the corner and waiting for him was the genius of suicide. And the genius of suicide was no happy apparition. He was in a hurry and busy. There were many others waiting as well, and the next on the list was a young man who had too much money. The baron burst into laughter. How could someone kill himself because of too much money? Totally absurd. And then the baron started thinking. Was where he was going better than where he was now? The ghost of suicide was, without any doubt at all, a very miserable being, and maybe everyone else who had committed suicide was miserable too. And so the baron changed his mind, and after getting his life back in order and becoming happy once again, died many years later. And what about Nicholas Nickleby? He resumed his journey and became an assistant at the school which belonged to the notorious alcoholic and child-hater Mr. Newman Noggs. And Nicholas Nickleby did not live happily ever after. But to find out why, you will have to read the book. Nicholas Nickleby by Charles Dickens.